Ooh. Mmm. Tuesday tip, people. What's going on? Welcome to the Tips of Tuesday. It's Carrie Peters. I'm here with you once again. Super happy. This is one of my favorite times of the week, and we're going to be talking today about a gift that you can get your baby daddy, maybe the best gift you can get your baby daddy. This is actually a gift I gave my husband last year or the year before. I can't remember, but the gift that I'm going to suggest is better than a mug. And no, it's not a Hummer. However, that never hurts. It's not that kind of video. It's not that kind of video. But we are here, Tuesday Tips, and we're here to have a little fun. So welcome. And if you're just joining, go ahead and write into the chat. Say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I also wore my favorite t-shirt today. It's says, let's see if I don't make it super bibblicious for you, but basically it says, I like to party, and by party I mean read books. Anybody? I saw it on Instagram. I was like, I must have that. I'd never bought anything on Instagram before, but I was like, I think it's time. I think I need to have that. I'm going to throw my headphones on because I think I might be a little echoey in here. But welcome to Tuesday Tips. It's time for you. It's time to kick back. It's time to have fun. Welcome. If you're here, go ahead and type into the chat. Say, hey, how you doing? We're going to talk about the best gift for your baby daddy for Father's Day. It's not a mug, because that would be boring. I have something better for you. I have something much better for you. Yay! Let's see how now do you hear the dulcet sounds of my voice so much more clearly? Delightful. All right, so in this video, I want to talk about a gift for your baby daddy, but it's not just about something that you wrap in a bow. It's about, first of all, go ahead and type into the chat, do you have a baby daddy? And it could be a human baby or fur baby, what else? And this is for those of you, I think will apply if you don't have a baby daddy per se, but you have a love in your life. This is not really so much for your actual father. This is more like, yeah, I didn't mean, I should have clarified that before I mentioned a Hummer. That's not for your father. No, get your dad a mug. Your father should get a mug and a goofy card. But we're talking about for your romantic partner, if you will. So whether or not you have children or you don't have children, first of all, welcome. And this is going to be awesome because I want to talk about, when you give a gift, you want to give it with a sense of love and sort of an open flow of love and appreciation for your baby daddy. So the problem can be if you're not feeling an open flow of love toward your baby daddy. I definitely, for those of you who've been in relationships, long-term, married, whatever, it can get challenging. And this tip today is I'm not going to preach to you about how I have the perfect relationship. I have an epic love affair with my husband. I have it all figured out. Life with a toddler and a 2-career family is just so easy and wonderful. I figured out every system that I need to figure out. I mean, seriously, if you could have been in my house this morning, it was chaos. My 2-year-old running around naked. We woke up late trying to get her to school. She's sobbing. My husband's crying. I'm yelling at him about taking the garbage out. It's a 3-ring circus. So this is like, nitty gritty, in the rough, not perfect, right? Plus, we're crawling out of a difficult couple of years with being pregnant, baby, marriage, illness, all kinds of things going on. And if you need further proof that my relationship is not perfect, you can ask my husband. He will tell you. However, so I'm not going to say like, oh, this is exactly what you need to do and it's going to make your relationship amazing. But actually, it might. There are a few things that I've learned along the way. I've only been married, 4 years in November, which seems like an eternity. By the way, joining if you're welcome. Say hi, type in if you're joining. It's just a lot's happened in a very short period of time. So there's a few things I've learned along the way in this kind of bumpy journey that I've had here in a marriage relationship with a kid. So I have a baby daddy mug. This is my gift to him. Very, innovative and delightful. So no matter where you are on your journey in your relationships, I want to share a 2-step system that's going to help you come up with a really amazing gift for Father's Day. And that is looking at where, in order to give with an open heart, looking at where we might have secret, hidden resentment towards our baby daddies. So go ahead and give me a shout out in the chat. Hand clap, a yeah, a thumbs up, whatever you'd like to use. If you're familiar with something called resentment, and if you might have some that's secret or hidden, i.e. you've told no one, but it loops in your head about how angry and resentful you are about X. So go ahead and let me know in the chat if you might be feeling that. I mean, where might you have resentment toward your baby daddy? Well, there are typical things that many couples argue over. That might be around, of course, everyone's heard money, sex, and kids. I want to add a 4th thing that causes a lot of difficulty in this day and age and a lot of resentment, and that would be division of labor. And I don't mean labor like pushing a kid out, because unfortunately women, ladies, that's all us. I wish somebody else could have done the job, but that's all us. I mean division of labor in your household. There's lots to be done in a household. And when you've got kids, there's exponentially more to do. Children are a blessing, and I've certainly been blessed. It's wonderful. And I've never worked harder in my life. It is the absolute most difficult thing in the world. And somehow the to-do list of life and home grows, not just like, oh, there's one of me. Now there's 2 of me with my spouse, and it's double the work. Now there's 3 of me and a child, and it's 3 times the work. No, it's 30 times the work. Like, it just blows up. And what ends up happening is, you may have a 2-career family. You may have a less extended family around to help. There may be a situation where one or the other of you in your relationship feels like you're carrying a heavier load. So is anyone having that experience of carrying a heavier load? I see a few of you like, yep, carrying a heavier load at home and maybe having a little bit of secret hidden resentment around that. If you have a little bit of secret hidden resentment around division of labor or anything, maybe it's not money, maybe it's not sex, maybe it's not kids, maybe it's not about who's doing what, but you've got some resentment toward your partner. And what that ends up doing is blocking that flow of love. So here's the 2-step system I want to share with you to open up and create an amazing gift for Father's Day. First is to have a come to Buddha conversation with yourself about your secret or not so secret hidden resentments and clear them out. Clear them out. And I'm going to talk about how in just a moment. This is actually a very simple process that's going to be unbelievably liberating. I can't wait to share it with you. That's the first step. And then the second step is to move into appreciation. Once you've uncovered the hidden resentments, once you've cleared them out, then you're opening your heart and the path for some appreciation for your baby daddy. Yeah, I see, Susan, lots of secret resentment. And Tara, oh my God, how do you always know? Well, probably because I'm living it too. Okay, so let's start with the first step of this 2-step system. The first is coming to Buddha with yourself about your secret or not so secret resentments toward your partner and clearing them out. Now, why is it important to do this? As we say, it's hard to open the flow of love when you're holding resentment and anger in your heart. I had a issue with my husband about division of labor and the household and life to-dos, and I was so angry about how it really just wasn't working for us, and I couldn't seem to communicate that to him. And honestly, that resentment and anger, it felt like a hemorrhoid pad on the flame on my heart. Like if your heart has a love flame, it was just a hemorrhoid pad going, and love was gone. And I was like, how do I light that match again? Because I am pissed. So I had this loop of anger and resentment in my head like 24/7. And I finally had to come to Buddha with myself. And I had to ask, being a coach, I had to ask, what do you want? Do you want to bitch about how you're being wronged and how mad you are? Or do you want a solution? And that was an important day for me because I realized that while I had this angry, resentful loop in my head, I was actually choosing resentment over a solution. I didn't necessarily know what the solution was in that moment, but I knew that I could make a decision. No, I want a solution. Now, what to do? Okay, because I felt like many of us, you feel like I've tried so many ways to change this. I've tried to ask for what I need. I tried to communicate in a way that's going to work. And so once I decided I wanted a solution and I wanted to stop the resentment, I wanted to stop feeling so angry, then I remembered something genius, and I'm going to share this with you. That one of my best friends from grade school, Michelle, I'm going to have to tag her in this video because she's a genius, and I'm about to share this. My friend Michelle, we've been best friends for 36 years, a very long time. She's seen me through everything. I've seen her through everything. And I remember when she first got married, first couple of years of her marriage, she got into this like super anger, resentment place around division of household labor. And she was kind of at her wit's end of trying to help her husband understand like how much she was doing outside of her full-time job. And this was before they even had kids. And she got so frustrated that one day she just opened her computer, opened up Excel, and made a spreadsheet of every single thing that she does in a given week for their household, for their finances. Maybe she did have a kid by this time. I can't remember. I'll have to ask her. For like keeping their house together, dry cleaning, banks, like every errand, everything she has to track, everything. And she totaled up the number of hours. So she wrote every single item, the number of hours that it takes her. And it turned out that it was 35 hours a week of work in addition to her full-time job. And she showed it to him and he was like, oh, like, I mean, he literally did not know all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes that she was doing. And I remember my husband saying to me at many times, like, I want to help you. I just don't know what to do. And it dawned on me, I remembered the spreadsheet story from my friend Michelle. And I was like, yes, he literally doesn't know. So I can sit and tell him over and over again, I'm overwhelmed. I need help. I need this. I need that. But I have to make the spreadsheet. It just hit me out of nowhere. I'm like, I have to quit bitching and start tracking. That's what I need to do. I need to make the spreadsheet. So I created a spreadsheet of everything that has to happen in our lives. I should share that at some point because it's kind of awesome because it's like, oh, all right, everything's there. And let me tell you, the number of items on that spreadsheet, 115 rows long of stuff that I had to think about every day, every week, every month, ongoing. So can you imagine? So we made a date. We went to a restaurant. I whip out the computer. I open my spreadsheet. I show him all the rows. I scroll down and I see his face getting white. And I was like, this is why I hate you. Because I'm drowning under the weight of this, right? So what we did is we assigned owners to each task. And then we set a weekly date where we would get together and handle what we call the business of life, just all the stuff that piles up that we have to deal with. Every Friday at 4:00, we're getting together, we're handling things so things don't pile up and I feel like I just want to cry every day, right? And things have been significantly better since because I got understanding of why I was so angry. Like he could understand, like, oh, here's why. There's a tangible evidence. Oh, here are all the things that needed to be done. And he could see and I could articulate it. And I was able to clear a good amount of that resentment. Now, so the come to Buddha is this. If you have a secret or not so secret resentment toward your baby daddy, then the first thing you have to do is decide if you want your resentment or you want a solution. If you want your resentment or if you want a solution. You don't have to want a solution. You can choose to want resentment. That's a valid choice as any. But if you choose to want a solution, then you have to find a way, even if you feel like you've tried every way, to be clear on exactly what you want to be different, exactly what you need, and then make a special time to sit down and ask for it and then plan to have whatever thing it is that you're resentful of or feel overwhelmed by or need help by, to have an ongoing plan, so you have help ongoing. There's so much to shoulder for women. I mean, guys too. I'm not dissing the guys. I'm not saying they're not doing anything, but the fact is women carry the majority of the load at home, whether they work or not. And can we, for the love of God, stop calling mothers working mothers or non-working mothers? Because every mother is a working mother. Every mother is a full-time working mother. And whether she has 7 full-time jobs or 8 full-time jobs, she is working. And let me tell you, if you're someone, a mother who has stayed at home and you're worried about coming into coaching and you're going, well, I haven't, made money or worked in years. And I just want to tell you, to replace what you do would cost somewhere in the neighborhood of 24/7. Everything you do in the house, it's going to cost anywhere from $75,000 to $150,000. That's your market value. So if you're sitting here going, oh, I can't be a coach, I could never charge that amount of money, you've already been working a 6-figure job. You're just not getting paid for it because, unfortunately, our society is so stupid. They really actually don't value the work of stay-at-home parents, which I find criminal. So all this to get to the second step of our 2-step system, which is, once you have uncovered that secret resentment, once you've decided if you want a solution, once you have figured out how to try to ask for what it is you want and need, and you can always get help from various resources if you feel like, I am asking, I don't know how else to ask, you can certainly borrow the spreadsheet trick, and maybe your friends have cool tricks like that too from their relationships. Once you've done all that, then you're sort of clearing the path to open your heart a little bit, to like relight the match that the hemorrhoid put out, the hemorrhoid pad. Oh God, hemorrhoids, childbirth, and having PTSD. Then the second step of the system is to, instead of like a card or a mug is fine, like that's a great gift. I'll probably do something like this from Evie, from our daughter, for him. But what's really going to stretch me and really going to be meaningful, perhaps to him, is to write a list of appreciations in a card or a letter. Because that could be powerful than any gift money can buy. Because I think at the end of the day, your partner wants to know that they're making you happy. And that when you're not happy and you're suffering, they really are suffering. And they may not understand why you're not happy and what they can do to change it, which is why we have to take it upon ourselves to do yet another thing. We'll get rid of that resentment, clear that out, sweep it, and explain to them what we want. But when you can create that list of appreciations of all the things that your partner does do, all the ways that your partner does contribute, chances are, if you're in a place where you're so like angry you can't even think of that, then it may be useful to think, well, if this person was not here, what would be missing? What would be the hole? What would I have to do, or where? And that's a way to start to see that the contribution is probably higher than you think it is. And to be able to share that in a letter or a card is going to be really, really powerful. I think also, I don't know that this is gender specific. I think everybody likes appreciation of what they do, but I think men really like to see that their efforts are being appreciated. Now, if you are harboring all kinds of resentment going, by the way, if you have not watched on Netflix, Ali Wong, the stand-up comedy special, Hard Knock Wife, you got to watch it. It is hilarious and you will cry laughing. And she talks about how her husband gets all kinds of accolades and amazing like confetti thrown for him because he changed a couple diapers. And then she tells a story of like doing skin to skin contact with her baby and the baby like pooped on her chest. And she goes, "Where's my confetti at? Where's my confetti at?" And as mothers, listen, we're going, "Where's my confetti?" Right? A baby cobra is also amazing. I just saw Shanda put in the list. It's such great. So you have to clear the resentment to really be able to share the appreciation, and that I think that written down could be the best gift, and maybe a little bit of a healing gift if you've had tension and anger and resentment in your relationship for Father's Day this year. And like I said at the beginning, a Hummer never hurt. Never hurt. Anyway, so thank you so much for being here, Tuesday Tips. I'm curious for you what your takeaway is or your favorite part of this video. And if you have a girlfriend or a guy friend, although this is, I know, a tad women-centric, but if you have anyone in your life that feel like needs to hear this information or this tip, or is really struggling in their relationship with anger and resentment and isn't sure how to get past it with their spouse or their partner, and maybe they can't get past it, but regardless, at least if you feel that someone could benefit from this, go ahead and tag them in the video. And if you are loving hanging out on Tuesdays, then I just want to give you a quick heads up that we can hang out live in November in Austin, Texas at HCI Live. It's November 9th through the 11th. Stacy, me, the whole HCI team, a ton of our Become a Health Coach students. If you've been following us, if you've been like, oh, Become a Health Coach, I think maybe, I'm not sure, you can always check us out live and see, do you dig? It just is more fun and more exciting and more electric. Tuesday Tips is great. Stacy, Real Talk on Thursdays, a lot of fun, but in person, it's a whole nother level, next level, and you can learn about it at hcilive.com. I'm excited to see you there. I get to hug you at our cocktail party that we have the first night. It's called Dress to Express. And it's super fun because when you are learning how to build a business and change yourself and change the world, I think you do need a little booze and a lot of dancing. That's just my personal opinion. So anyway, happy Father's Day to all of your baby daddies and much love to you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.